You know what it is. Don't act like you don't know what it is. Don't act like you don't know what it is. Ready for Bitcoin. Are you ready for Bitcoin? Are you ready for, I said, are you ready for Bitcoin? Don't act like you don't know what's going down. We'll start with the lemon water to keep you cool, keep you calm. Let's get it on. I passed out last time. Hope we don't pass out this time. Shout out to each and every one of you for being here. And let's get it in. Let's break it down as we look at Bitcoin and the weekly and the alts pumping. We're going to look at the total market cap, getting that push up to 818 billion, breaking above my $800 billion area and getting above this high volume. No, we're going to talk about it. Are we at a shoulder, head and shoulder? We're going to talk about it. We're going to break it down for you. Ooh, I got a hot list. You may have seen that. You may not get that again. Shout out to each and every one of you for being here. Thank you for jumping on and sharing your most precious asset with me. And that is your time. You're with the Crypto Lifer. I love you. You love me. Together, we make the most loving, amazing crew in all of crypto. Thank you so much for everything that you've done for me to get me to these amazing places where I've been in life. I greatly appreciate it. Shout out to each and every one of you for jumping on in. And thank you for sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. What a beautiful time it is to be alive. Thank you for being here. So, breaking it down, we see that the weekly is in a bullish divergence. Okay, this is something that we do see here. Just want to point it out. I've been breaking it down ever since we saw it first here. However, we got that nasty dump to the downside. Can we make a move back to the upside? The question is as such. I've been watching the 3-day chart, but that's the 3-day. We'll get into that in a later time. Right now, I just want to focus on Bitcoin and the weekly candle. I just want to see the weekly candle. So let's take a look at Bitcoin and the weekly candle, right? It's right here. And thank God the next candle is already green too, which is pretty cool. 3 white soldiers, maybe, huge wickage to the upside, but we've had it before and it really doesn't say, a lot. At the end of the day, it's all about the trend analysis. Low, high, lower, low. You got to make a higher low to even begin to become bullish on the weekly. So we got to achieve a 20,500. You got to get a weekly candle to close somewhere here. Or we're not even and then we can make a higher low, a higher high, and then maybe we could break on out of this. So trend analysis alone tells you if you can't break above here on the weekly, you can just kiss this whole dream goodbye. So, you always want to really look at things finitely with trend analysis and realize where you are so you're not in some type of fantasy land, all right? Because everyone else will tell you, oh, we're going this way, we're going that way. And if you just look at the trend and ask yourself where you're at, the answer is right there, clear as day. You don't get above 20,000, we'll say 21,000, no rally, nothing's happening. So that would have to be a broken trend. We'd have to get above that previous high to remain somewhat even bullish. All right. Okay, so moving forward, let's take a look at the weekly candle by itself. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin. And the weekly candle close. Could have gone longer, but I decided I didn't want to pass out and turn red like a tomato. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Okay. Yeah, that was me, baby. Yep. The baby's saying something. So look, we opened at 16,420 and 78 cents. What a nice, interesting place to open. So we opened at 16,420 and 78 cents. The high was 17,296 and 93 cents. So we spewed up all the way to almost 17,300. The low was 16,041. We would not break 16K. And the candle would close at $17,113.75. It would go up $689.81, up 400. Look how weird this was. The candle would open. I just find this strange. The candle would open 16,420%. $16,420, right? It would go up 4.2%, 420. So it would open at 16,420. and it would close up 420%, 4.20%. I just find that interesting, And 689.81 was the move. So there's your weekly candle, all right? And I'll see you tomorrow. No, I'm just... I get. Oh, you don't like that? You don't... All right, anyway. So we're going to take a look here at this beautiful weekly candle. Now we're going to zoom in and we're going to look at Bitcoin. We're going to have some fun. Now we'll take a look at the 3-day for you. The 3-day chart that I had on Coinbase. Coinbase, I had to turn to Coinbase. So look, I talked about the 3 levels of the wedge, in my humble opinion, right? Which I believe we're still a bit trapped in. But we have our bottom wedge. It should be somewhat parallel. So you have your bottom, your mid-range, which could be somewhat breaching, and your top range, okay? Of course, we got to get back above the mid-range to remain bullish. So far, it looks like we're breaking through to the other side like Jim Morrison, That's what we want to see, all right? That's what we're looking for. So I'm looking for this move here, this falling wedge, and we did see a beautiful bullish divergence here on the 3-day chart. That was also strong on the weekly chart. And this is swing up, and that's a jettison move. It's a nice bend up while this is bending down. You see lack of bearish momentum here, pushing up on the stochastics RSI. We have room for liftoff. You could even say this is a bit of a falling wedge that can break on out to the upside with the measured move here too as well. Swing, chariot, sweet low. My friend said you should have named your show Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, like swing low, swing high. Funny, man. So here is the next area here, 25K. Is, big resistance on the 3-day. And obviously right here too at, at 21,300. And this little notch here at 22,000, about 8. All right. This little notch here at 22,008. But not too much, on the 3-day chart. It's only like, I'm not saying not too much, but, to get all the way back to 25K, we only have 2 big boy resistance areas. I mean, of course, the point of control. But, I'm saying if we can break above this falling wedge, and then where can we go for the breakout? So we break to the downside. If this is failed move, which it could very well could be, we could easily go all the way up to here, 19K. I'm looking for a move to about 19,000 to this area. Whether it's sustainable will be all whether we get above this point of control. We get above this, make a move. There's an easy way we could get up all the way to 19, even faster, because then we're looking at a bigger high volume node here, right? Looking even somewhere here or there, because there's just not much more resistance in that area, right? I just look at technically. I'm not looking at news like where we're going to go or what could be the catalyst. To me, it just these are the areas that we would visit here and here on the VRVP on the 3-day chart. Right? Just that's all we got to go on for the moment. We'd have to bring in more price action here and see what we got. So right here, 30K would be our next stop, really, if we could break above that 25,000. You can see how we could begin to climb. But again, let's go back to trend analysis, right? You have a high, you have a low, you have a lower high. You have a higher low, slightly lower high, though. Slightly lower low, lower high, lower low. You're likely going to put in a lower high. You have to assume until you don't. So the first thing we would need Bitcoin to do is put in a high above this high. So we'd have to get a $21,500, $22,000 Bitcoin. Then we could come here, bounce off this, come up, and it doesn't mean we're not going to come back down, but then you're looking for the higher low at that point, and can we make a new trend? We've tried it a few times. It has not worked out. We've been struggling, all right? So Bitcoin in a bit of a nutshell here on the 3-day chart. Does look bullish to me with gasoline to the upside. So 3-day chart starting off the way we've been looking at it, and we've talked about this many times. If you know my channel, I've gone over this before the pump. So not saying I'm right every time I called the pump. I'm just saying this is what it is. This is what it is. All right. So there we have it. That's something I'm watching. And now I'm going to jump into what I see on intraday and internight trading for BTC. After the weekly candle closed at such a beautiful place above 17,000, strong weekly close. All right. Let's just take a look one more time, too. I want to look at some weekly areas. Really focus in. So we're kind of in the doldrums, if you ask me. I mean, like what? I'm looking at this. I mean, we got this little shelf here. We got this shelf here, right? 16. So like we're being held by this 16,000 shelf there. If we break that, I mean, there's just nothing left. You know, nothing left. A major divergence on the weekly that I'm pointing out. You can even see it's starting to come out here on this stochastic RSI indicator as well. A major divergence. All right, and there's a point of control that we'll have to deal with. Let's see all of Bitcoin. What do we get on the VRVP here? Oh yeah, nothing, because there's just too much down there. So we got to keep it. We got to keep it raw. That's why you got to learn how to use the VRVP. If you use too much time, you can get the bad signal. You want it. Yeah, this makes sense to me. And then even just want to see what's going on here in this liquidity zone. It says we could easily get back to 38,000. Like once we clean up down here, look, it says, look, if you look at this really for what it is, look at it. It says there's just no one else that really, there's just not much more liquidity, like a 16, like look, it says it'd rather go up into the 39,000 region, you know. Since somewhere by April or May, see if you just follow it along, like somewhere by April or May, like if Bitcoin just, could it be back at 40K? You never know. Then it would have a year to the halving. Every halving I think will be a preemptive pump halving. What do I mean by that? Well, think about it logically. What I see logically, a lot of people don't. Like, but I think I see things as obvious, and other people are like, no, I don't know. All right. So come into my room, students, and let's talk as a professor. And so we know about Bitcoin's halvings, all right? Not just, you know, boom, 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 boom. And like we keep getting our halving every May, right? And we know we had our crash, and like we're down in here, and like we're going to have our halving in like May again, and we're on our way to like, you know, and this would be the future Bitcoin move, right? But the point is, every year, so down here, you know, only a few Joe Schmoes knew what the halving was. Then a few more internet geeks, right? And then some other people, then guys like me jumped in. I'm still an internet geek. I'm not saying I'm not. But, you know, late to the party geeks. And, you know, I jumped in even here, the first half. But, you know, then we had our halving in 2020, 2020. And, right? And now we're going to have our next halving in 2024. Okay. So, point of the story is more people know what a halving is every halving. And so I believe there's just becomes more preemptive feeling, more preemptive run-up, more ability for Bitcoin to bubble up and to gain even more kind of, you know, of that je ne sais quoi FOMO that people want. You know, you tell me if I'm wrong or right. Can I see some people in the comment section? Let's jump on into the comment and see what people are saying about this. Because, you know, I didn't really take a call on that today. And what does everybody think about that? What do we all think? Karen Dale agrees. Amazing. Okay. BTC pumping now. We'll take a look at BTC pumping. Yeah, it's 17,217. It's okay. How early can a pump for the halving start? You're right, Big Daddy Samo, Harry Potter, Facts, T-Money. What's up, my man? Shout out to After Hours Investing. 10.5K, then Lambo, my man. Can you have a look at ETH? I think that sounds right. A commodity that splits the stock or halved can be predicted changes value drastically. Anything is possible. Just FOMO'd into Chainlink. Bending at one at a time. I own a bag of Chainlink. I'll have it for a while. Pump it up tomorrow morning. What do you think, Sammy? Well, we're going to take a look at the world markets. We're going to take a look at everything we see here. Can I get the likes up to the watchers? 442 people on the live. Can I get the likes up to the watchers? I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for the love. So just, you know, for all the people out there that understand, just my idea about the halving. Just quick flash in a pan. The quick flash in a pan, down and dirty drawing of a madman. Hard at work daily. Who here was at the morning live stream? I was, of course you were, you did it. Yeah, I know, but I was there. Who here was there at the morning live stream? Thank you for jumping on and appreciate each and every one of you. And I did, look like there was likely to be a bit of a pump to the upside, right? We didn't open up a shorts. We weren't looking at the shorts now, were we, boys? We weren't looking at the shorts now, were we, boys? We had to head on straight now, boys, eh? So look, and then I drew this on the 10-minute chart earlier today. Ask anybody in my trading group. Man, I'll have you locked and loaded in my trading group. I really will. I drew this flag. I've been watching the flag. You can even go to the morning update from today. And who there understands the moves, right? Yo, never. I was the first one. FOMO the like button. Me. Morning live streams are dope to wake up to. Him, me, hey, they. I watch all your streams, but usually can't catch you live. Shout out to Karen Dale. God bless you for coming on in live now. Love the morning stream. Definitely was on the morning. I went long, skinny low. Literally just signing on to like this, watching on Lifetime Laptop. Thank you so much for the love. Did you switch time frames using a hotkey? Your trading group is the bomb. Thank you so much for the love. When people say that, it makes me feel very, very good. Thanks for all you do. Can you shout out my 6-year-old daughter, 80? She asks how Bitcoin is doing all the time. Shout out to 80. If that's the right name, right? Shout out to 80. We love you. Thank you for jumping on into the live stream with your pops. Appreciate it. Shout out to Louis Galejos in the house. FOMO, that like button some more. You're that light at the end of the tunnel, my brother. Thank you. Do you know Okanabe? Lifer over football. Knowledge is key. God bless you for that. Just the 99 future self will thank you. Join the 99. Your future self will thank you. Shout out to Timmy313 in the house. Did you know Okanabe? Addy. Thank you so much, Addy. So look, this basically my target here for this move was to 17,297, right? And we are sitting pretty with a wick there to 17,272. I had it at hello, baby. I had it at hello. But you know how we douche. Bitcoin watching this flag on the smaller time frames at 6:17 p.m. for a nice move to the upside. You could feel it. You could smell it. It just had the je ne sais quoi easy of a move to the upside. That je ne sais quoi, baby. Shout out to the elite hitting Grin and Ori. My man's hitting Ori for 77%. Grin for gains. Just continuing to grind away. Always finding a way. Nailing it every single day. And look at that massive move for Bitcoin. And we do this on all coins. We do, and it's just a technical analysis. And I do not have enough money to move Bitcoin. So I could not have moved Bitcoin even a penny, right? But look at that massive move up. Ooh. And how close the prediction was. And honestly, we may still get there, honestly, if we watch the smaller time frame. Continue to look at these little this little flag here. I call it a flagito, and it's just a little close, right? Sorry. But it's a flagito, right? A little flag. I don't know, like a Paquito flag, flagito? I don't know, I'm just being funny, man. But we'll watch this flag on the 7, so steep. And I mean, that's just wick to wick. I've been watching. That's how the algorithm moves. Ooh, look at that. Are we getting the short squeeze? We'll take a look at that short squeeze on Le Bookmap. Shout out to anyone that jumped into Bookmap and jumped into those deals on the holiday. Best time to jump into Bookmap. Amazing, amazing time to be alive. Thank you so much, Bookmap. And look, we're looking at this flag to the upside. Short squeeze possibly coming for Bitcoin. Remember, heavy volatility Sunday night into Monday morning. It's always an up and down frenzy. Just remember that. It's out of control. That's just what happens. It's what it is. Vibe with the music. It's Sunday night. We already got through the weekly close. We're taking deep breaths. We're watching Bitcoin pump together. So far, it could be worse. It could be dumping together. So far, here we go. But, you never know. Probably wake up and it's a mess. You never know for Bitcoin, right? Shout out to each and every one of you beautiful people for jumping on into the live and being here with the Lifer. May God bless your beautiful souls. Thank you for being here, man. And I feel like I just got back from Miami, but it's like, wow, right back into the studio, right back into real life. Time just keeps moving at the speed of light. Appreciate each and every one of you for jumping on into the live and being a part of this beautiful live stream. Again, Sunday nights are special. We end the week. So, as we move forward, let's take a look. Shiba Inu in this tight channel. Been trending all over Twitter. Shibarium. 1 hour's a little high for me. 4 hour time frame's coiling up. Possibly for a bit of a move here. Something seems to be brewing for SHIB. You never know. It could dump to the downside. Anything is possible, but it gets above this high volume node. I mean, it's got really nowhere to go up until, another area high there, volume area, at least to here. See that jumping on in? So we'll see. But SHIB, 7% on my radar for possible move for Shiba Inu. Again, it won't have to fit your trading style. I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. I hold some SHIB long term. I don't know if I'm going to actually trade this move personally. Just want to make that clear. But I'm looking at it. It's on my radar for, something. I look at a bunch of different things, and then I eventually pick one after, analyzation over analyzation. And I'm picky, and it depends on the night. I usually don't like to trade Sunday night into Monday morning due to the volatility. Unless I have a really good eye on something, or I'm maybe going short and long and I'm going to switch it on and off. But even that, I find high risk. Tends not to reward the best. The best is just chill out, So, yeah. That goes to the music. And remember, didn't we, I believe I implemented a Bookmap button. Taking a look at Bookmap, baby, as it's flying across the screen at the speed of light. And that's what you want to see for your Bookmap. 17,020 pumping hard, right? Seems to be some orders trying to get filled at 17.5. Some squeeze action on the shorts. Not much down here. 17,000 buy wall. Not seeing a lot of liquidity. So far, so good. Just see a sell wall, 17,004, 17,006. Kind of right into the liquidity zone as we speak right now. Only places up so far. But again, we will see as the night prevails. You never know on Sunday night. But so far, Bookmap looking pretty for the liquidity zone. A little further up for some big sells at 17,004, 500. There we go. What is the trade of the night for the altcoins? VAI. I actually own some of this long term. And you can see, and I saw a couple of trades looking the same way as this. TWT was almost in the exact same shape. Watch. That's how you know I have a photographic memory of some type of weird pattern recognition. I mean, I guess maybe everybody does, right? It's not that hard, right? Well, look, and I'll take a copy of this. Go to UFO, which I'm also watching UFO in a tight channel. Just something I'm looking at. 4 hours a little high for me now, but it did seem to break out. Maybe it retests. It does something here, but I'm watching this. UFO's on my radar for a possible move of 24% gains. A bit of a cup and handle action. Can I get that move back up to this high volume node? It's about to break this one and go to that one. I've seen it happen many times on the VRVP, but only time will tell. Okay, something I'm looking at too is, TWT. I just wanted to see how this looks. There it goes. I'm like, where did you put it? And see, it just looked similar to me. Had this see these little hills here. I went off to the side, but before it was interesting. Anyway, I look for these same type of patterns over and over again. See how that kind of fits it almost it's crazy. Anyway. So TWT. A little baby on the 4 hour. Looks like it can go for mo. I like when things break out and then show a flag. And so I already took her for 18. Jumped out at 242. Consolidated again. Is it ready for more? And everyone's always worried about the price action. Just worry about the meat, taking down the first hunt, Possible 19%. If it extends to the bigger move here, you're looking at a 55%er. TWT looks absolutely beautiful in that 1 hour and the 4 hour time frame. Looking like it could get a bit of a move here. If Bitcoin goes more sideways, we're looking nice. Even on the small side. Like if I zoom in here, I'm even looking at here at this bit of a flag here. See this? It's just like, I'm all over this thing. I'm smelling some meat here. It seems to be consolidating nicely, even on the smaller time frames. Anything is possible. It does have a resistance, right, that it needs to get above. Hanging at this point of control, even on the smaller time frame. Okay. Bitcoin could dump it. We'll take it down. It's high risk on a night like tonight. But TWT is on my radar. I'd be nice enough just to kind of tell you what I'm looking at. It's like if you were on, right now, this is how I look at my show. We were on the Titanic, and I have a telescope, and I'm able to see the market pretty good, and I'm able to see a lot of things. And so I'm just trying to point things out like, oh, that could be danger. That might, this could be a better way to steer the ship. You never know. Like I'm just showing you, I'm just navigating what I see in the markets for the night, Remember, there's a narrative behind TWT. It's a decentralized wallet. And people don't want to be on these centralized exchanges. They're having a bit of an issue, right? So, all right. Let's jump into ES1 and see what's happening and cooking into the morning. All right. Let's see what we see. So if you've been with us this whole time, let me get rid of these. We've been watching this flag for ES1, and you can see it kind of came down, came back into the flag, and I'm like, okay, you're back to the flag. And the 4 hour time frame's attempting a move back to the upside here. We have seen it inside this bigger channel. All right. And this is the futures. Sometimes I just strip away my moving averages just so I can see exactly, show you nice and clear as well. Double click and only look at price action. But you can see we've been going up and down through this upward channel. But the idea is, look, we're going to zoom out for you and show you we're also in this bigger channel here. All right. You can almost, we can go out to there. I like to say that we broke back inside the channel here. And kind of respected this dirty trend line. So right now we're at this precipice, right? Because we could easily break back down. And if we do, we go to this circled area. And the S&P takes a bit of a tumble. But we're holding this high volume node, and we'd like to stay above it and get all the way up to here, which we should, because we have broken the kind of resistance of the point of control. So it's crucial we stay above the point of control, which is about 39,020. And let's just be honest, in like the psychological area of 4,000 would be beautiful to hold. All right, like a cherished golden diamond, it would be beautiful to hold. Get it? So anyway. All right, whatever. So if you got it, you got it. I'm just messing around. So let's take a look here. So the 1 hour is overbought. All right, so you can kind of see what we're doing. Now you know, I like to zoom out and show you where the battle is, and then we go back in and we fight the battle, right? You see what I'm saying? So now we're looking here inside the channel, and we're like, okay. And we know the levels that matter, and we know why they matter, and we know what's really at stake. So we know how big of a deal this point of control down here is now. Because if we lose it, it's that other big area that I showed you, and it all matters. Everything matters, kids. Guys and girls, dolls. Everybody out there over here. It all matters. All right. So look. Nasty move too. Crazy move there, right? Bit of a jig. We call it getting a flash, a mind flash. But it's like the beginning of a diamond, but we call it a whipsaw. It's a bit of a whipsaw, right? So here we have clear resistance. We need to get above point of control. Got thrown down there. When you look at it, 4,080, right? So we want to get back above the zone. 1 hour suggests that we don't, and we just kind of continue down this channel. It's fine if we do that. We just don't want to break this area here, And we like this move back to the upside at one point. So watching this right now play out, but right now, at least for the next 5 to 6 hours, we could see a move to the downside here. What I like is that 15-minute signs of almost like a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. Even though it's insane, anything is possible, right? And a bit of a flag here. Could we break on? Continue to move to the upside is the question. 15-minute has a little bit of legs here. Could it get the pump? Bitcoin's getting a little bit of move. You know, seems like Bitcoin's moving before ES1 though, but we shall see. So when I lift this little area here, you can see this little flag here for ES1 now. Can that 15-minute throw a Hail Mary get us above this point of control? Begin to get it break above like the bigger channel here. Messy price action, but this is what I got for myself, and I'm comfortable with it. All right. Not perfect though, right? But you work with what you get, and you go from there. I'll reassess when the time is needed. Bitcoin breakout, fake out so far could just be an M right here that couldn't get above the zone, right? We have resistance now at about 17,200, but it's nice to see it back above 17K. Okay, for now. And then here too, something that we haven't really like discussed, like are we making a bit of a channel here too now? See this? And Bitcoin's at the top of the channel, and it could come back down. See that? Well, so just things to consider. 1 hour time frame is very overbought after the nice pump. So beautiful pump to the upside. Maybe a couple more short squeezes are in play, but we're definitely, the stochastic is telling you, compared to most times, this is very overbought, right? So 4 hour also did a beautiful, I mean, look at what the 4 hour has been doing. It broke out. And we showed you this idea so many times that we were likely to move up to what, the 200 simple. I wouldn't be surprised if we eventually just came and touched that 200 simple like I talked about. It's only a matter of time, and in my humble opinion, who remembers the Lifer talking about a likely move out of this to the 200 simple moving average, from the tight moving averages all the way to the 200 simple. Just something that we see. All right, remember these things, write them down, put them in your little handbook, little notes. I got so many tips and tricks, and this happens on every single asset throughout the world. Tesla, the Dow Jones. You could trade oil. You could trade any single thing with what I teach you. Any asset. That's a beautiful thing. People are like, I trade a crypto. My trading course that I teach every single week, and I love teaching it. It's the best. I love this trading course. I put my life into it. It's from 3 to 5 every Tuesday. It's also going to be Saturday, December 10th. Jump on in. I can't wait to teach it. And the idea behind this is I give you my special sauce, what I look at in the market. And when I teach, you can trade any market. You could put the formula on anything in the market. On anything in the market. And it basically the same probabilities, the same things. It's the same. You can put it on the Dow Jones, Tesla, you name it. It doesn't matter. Same principles apply. Same principles apply. Same fundamental, same exact thing going on, no matter what. It's amazing. So that's why I like you could, feed a man a fish, right? The whole story. Teach a man a fish. Sustainable forever, right? So Bitcoin seems to be kind of slowing down here a little bit when we look at these smaller time frames. All right. But that's, you'd be like, well, you're making so many moves in the smaller time frames, but that's how we figured out this last move, which not many people would have seen. But the lifers were all over it because we had seen this, so it was what it was. And I do not leave my post. I watch Bitcoin like a hawk for everybody in the trading group, with everything I got. Okay. With no jokes aside, seriously, I love what I do and I appreciate it. Confirm, baby. I didn't own 1 gram of silver the last time I got my stack up. Rail since then. Silver. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Shout out to Billy Bob 369. Shout out to Crypto 420. Shout out to Meluel. Shout out to Team Money. Shout out to Nate LA, CNC Ireland. Love learning. And everybody in the house. RLC, you the man, Sam. Thank you so much for the love, Chief Goldblum. May God bless you and yours. So Bitcoin looks to stall out a little bit here, right? Unless we get a bit of a short squeeze, which could happen. Getting a little bit overbought here on the smaller time frames, showing signs of exhaustion. All right, but we did break above 17K, psychological area of support and resistance, but it's not a huge move, and it's almost like an M here. See this? what we call cat ears as well. Let's take a look at another chart nice and clean, because we're brainstorming for tomorrow morning. All right, look, I also had it drawn just like this on KuCoin. You know, didn't matter really where I had it charted, it looked pretty much the same. 22 hour was worrisome, but it was high. It did flip a lid. But see, now we got something like this cooking, right? Like, possibly. And again, like, even the 22 hour, that's like a flag, right? That wants to break out. I just like to look at things just kind of like with the meat and potatoes of it. And that could still pump to the upside despite the overexhausted MACD, despite the highs, you know, stochastic, you know. And what's funny about it is, at the end of the day, it was that inverted head and shoulder that we all taught, you know, that we did see. We saw it before it happened. So shout out to the lifers. We dug deep through these, you know. We even caught a few shorts along the way, but we've been digging deep this whole time. And I've been saying, you never know, right? You don't want to get too caught on the short or long. I've been swing trading both ways. I don't hold one way or the other. I just swing trade close. And that way I'm not biased. When I get into these long-term holds in certain areas, I become very biased, right? Like, I fight the feeling. And I don't want to do that, so I swing trade a lot more, and then I buy Bitcoin long-term. That's kind of my strategy throughout these bear market times, you know. And, you know, whatever other altcoin that I really appreciate. Like me, I'm a MATIC guy. I'm an ADA guy. I'm an XRP guy. You know, those are three coins that I really like to hold long term. You know, definitely get a bag of. I don't mind some waves, but I like to trade waves more swingingly, you know, not as long termy. I'm a VeChain holder too. I'm a long term VeChain guy. I like my VeChain, you know. These are some coins that I just believe in long term, but it may take some time, right? So we talked about Ape getting a bit of a move. Let's see what it ended up giving us here. I mean, not bad. 16% gains out of Ape 3L to the upside, right? I was looking at BNB 3L on the smaller time frame too. I personally entered the trade, just to make it really clear. I did enter that trade, BNB 3L. But that's like, you know, I'm looking at this 3-day. This is like a 1 to 2 week trade, you know. And, you know, just looking pretty crispy so far. It could double top. Anything could happen. So far, we are above the point of control, which this is all I want to see, this candle close above it. And then the lack of bearish momentum, falling volume with falling price. It's just, BNB looks pretty good. And BNB is a strong coin. You know, also, just something, you know. I like CAS on Max Global. Remember, CASPA on Max Global. Max Global is beautiful. CASPA's starting to flag out now. We've seen some move here. Starting to flatten out here on the 22-hour time frame. It's getting held up by the 382. Didn't even retrace anymore, but we have the fibs ready to go down to the golden pocket, which we still could. No guarantees right here. We'll watch it closely. 4-hour time frame. A little overbought, showing some signs of, you know, getting a little exhausted here. So we could eventually go further down, touching that 200 simple. But it's on my radar for when it does retrace and get some signs of life. It's a good project. It had an amazing run up to the upside. We watched half of it. Boom, CASPA, KAS on Max Global. Link in the description below. Jump on into Max Global today. Only place you can get coins that nobody else knows about. Low cap gems that could become the 100Xs, 50Xs, and even that can really just give good returns in a faster time frame. They're smaller coins. They're also higher risk reward, but for me, when I was first trading and I had smaller amounts of money, you know, trading a smaller gem like that was able to produce a faster gain, right? Once I had I began, learning how to trade with small amounts until I, got my bearings on me. Funny, there's this consolidation going on here for Sol 3L. Even Sol 3L had a bit of a move to the upside. That's interesting. Ugly though. I wouldn't trade Sol 3L. I'm just, it's funny to look at that, but something about Sol, I guess you could take advantage of the move. But yeah, we kept watching, Litecoin in this flag, but now you can see everything's in this shoulder, head, and a shoulder. See the inverted head and shoulder inside? We're almost getting like everything is doing a breakout. The total market cap did a bump, right? And it's holding that zone. And we want to, you know, we just got to stay above $800 billion. So far, so good, even through a weekly close, which is huge to me. The volatility went the other way for us, at least slightly bullish this time, right? So it wasn't as bad, right? So Litecoin 3L, what would that render if that 4-hour could pump or more sides? 66% gains. No guarantees though, but you got that shoulder, inverted head and shoulder. You bend sideways. You're at that higher, you know, the higher volume area here, but, you know, can you get back up? So we will see. POKT Network still on my radar. Went over it so many times, absolutely love it. And it finally got the push up. Look at that, the POKT Network, my baby. My baby. And it's all about being consistent, right? And if I show you anything, I show you how consistency pays off. And it's not huge, but man, it didn't lose. I always say that. It's not huge, but it didn't lose. And 9% to me is huge. A couple days, 3 or 4 days, 9%. The POKT Network, baby. Bang. In the pocket with the network. You know, I'm just fine. Shout out to the $6 in chat revenue. You people are unbelievable. $2 here. Chef Goldblum from RLC. Let's take a look at RLC for my man. And now you might not even have known what the POKT Network is. Now you do. Now you do. Sorry about that. I'm thirsty. Okay. Let's take a look at RLC USDT. KuCoin. Ooh. So look, I had it in this move. It did break out. See that beautiful breakout. Had another little flag that it didn't, you know, continued sideways. But look at the consolidation. That's heavy consolidation. Kind of doing that same thing. Look, the shoulder. They're all following that. You know, the total market cap. And some money came into the market. We're talking like $10 billion, right? So there's some capital injected into the crypto market, showing signs of the life. Viva la crypto, right? So can RLC get the wave to the upside? The 4 hours suggests that there could be a bit of a move here, upside down. Bart Simpson, when you flip it upside down, I mean, you know, kind of, you didn't get more of a shelf life on the left side, but you see what I'm saying? It has the Bart Simpson head, you know, idea. But can you jettison back up? There's a chance. You want to look at more at your 22 and your daily. Both actually suggest you could get a bit of a bounce here, which is interesting. Your 1 hour is a little cooked for me. I'd have to let that kind of come on and go more sideways. And the liquidity is a bit lacking. But for you, it's up to you. You know, tight moving averages inside of a wedge. A big move is coming for RLC, up or down, definitely. And there's a chance. The 4 hour suggests it is more to the upside. So probability suggests there's some type of move here. And you get above this point of control, and yeah, and you're getting a bullish feel for the market. But again, it's Sunday night to Monday morning, and anything could happen. We could see a bear trap for Bitcoin, and it could all kind of switcheroo. So only time will tell. And we're going to look back at Bitcoin and answer that question. What are the odds that this is a bull trap or a bear trap? A bull trap. We're going to take a look more at a bull trap. What do you think about Render USDT? I don't know much about it, honestly, but thank you. YFI and YFI hit gains. Please look at Render charts. It's been pumping. Thank you. Please check Render. Wow, people going hard. Remember, I'm that guy that won't do it if you ask me more than once, and now I probably won't look at Render for the rest of the night because I have it probably won't happen now. SHIB, Flow, MATIC 3L, Airweave, and RLC. So we already looked at SHIB. We took care of that. Bing, Flow from last night. Yeah, someone asked about Flow yesterday. I apologize. But they just asked about Flow, and I answered the question. I said, yeah, it's all right. It's a bigger market cap. It is what it is. So I may not have done the super chat, but I did. They said, what do you think of Flow? And I answered what I thought of Flow. I said, Flow is, I don't think anyone noticed. So in my humble opinion, I answered the super chat. You get it? Because when someone asks me, what do you think of something? And I just say what I think about it. Yeah, it's completely different, right? I don't know. Right? What do you think of what do you think of the moon? I don't know. It's cool, right? So Flow's like the lowest it's ever been, right? But it's getting tighter and tighter in the channel, and it did finally break out here after a lot of pain. It's battling a point of control and getting tight. Can it move to the upside? 3-day chart is your gimme. and it says you can get a huge pump and you're getting a reversal to the upside. So 3-day chart just reversed, has gas in the tank, and could the whole market get a move? Are you buying the bottom of flow? I don't know. You'd have to answer that question yourself, so would I. All right, I have to truly believe in the project. I mean, it has a lot of money behind it. A lot of people know about it. Flow is probably not going anywhere. Once NFTs come back, I believe Flow could be a big mover, but you never know. And there's no guarantees, and that's a big chance you got to take because you're taking a chance on a new and, completely budding industry. When I look at Flow right now, it's in a bit of a flag. Would I swing trade it? I don't know. It's the lowest it's ever been. It's out of resistance. It's got to get back above it. 3-day chart does have promise. Smaller time frames are consolidating. Chance Flow could continue move to the upside. It did break a big trend. To me, that shows sign that it will continue to the upside and at least break back up to the area of like 132, 120 area. Is it my trade? I don't think so. But, thank you for making me look at Flow. I appreciate that. Take a look at Airweave. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for being awesome. Please hit that like button on your way in or on your way out. However you do it, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you want me to dance, I'll dance for likes, but only after I get done all the super chats. So Airweave is getting tighter and tighter in the zone on KuCoin. AR, is it also on another platform? Binance, right? Bittrex, Uncoin. Thought it was on Coinbase too for some reason. Could be wrong, right? A lot of wicks, it's very low. For the daily chart, it's the lowest it's ever been. I mean, you'd have to truly believe in this project for a move to the upside, right? It's like, not my cup of tea. Like that, you have to trust that's the bottom. Like, I'd much rather find out if it is, pump up here, have something, and then start swing trading it up in here once it gets above this high volume node here. But definitely high risk, high reward for the gap up. But that's a cowboy move and not worth the 48% for me personally. Okay? That's just me. But again, I could be 100% wrong. Watch it pump tomorrow. You can laugh at me. It's up to you. It just doesn't fit my trading style. But again, who knows? It's tight in the channel. The moving averages are tight. And it needs to get above this point of control for it to continue to the upside. It does have a measured move, which is just, what the measured move is just what the science gives you. There's no opinion on that. About 10%. And where do you get that? That's just the base of your triangle, right? And there you have it. Okay, so what else are we looking at here? MATIC and MATIC 3L. I love me some MATIC in the morning. Automatic, baby. So MATIC's doing that same kind of thing, right? We had it in the flag. It did actually make a bit of a move here. A little bit of quick gain there, about 3%. Nothing to write home about. But on MATIC 3L, that's a nice 9, right? So a little something to write home about. Not enough, though, to pay the bills every day. Actually, good, actually. You never know. Depends on the bills. So let's take a look here. I mean, it broke out of this kind of ugly little channel that it was playing in, just like Bitcoin, though, right? It was basically following Bitcoin's lead. So if Bitcoin continues to stumble, MATIC will not continue to pump. So you need a bigger breakout here for the whole team. 4 hours just getting started. I like to see that. A lot of times I'll just trade a 4 hour and forget about anything else. You do see this shoulder, this head, and possibly a right shoulder beginning to form. So I have to point that out, and you could see that we're tapping that 200, but we get above the 200 simple on the 4 hour. As I showed you before, you get above that, there's a big pump coming each time. So tells me there could be a nice huge pump coming for MATIC here to the upside. It's almost worth the gamble for me personally. See, this is something I would take a shot on. About a 7 or 6% gain. It gets above the point of control, and then MATIC could even flip all the way back up to here to that 114 area. So wouldn't be surprised if MATIC could make it even a bigger move if it gets above the zone, right? So yeah, man, and then basically MATIC 3L is its counterpart. See, it would do something similar to the upside here on KuCoin. Link in the description below. I do get a commission if you use KuCoin. KuCoin's amazing. Absolutely love KuCoin. So I've been using KuCoin for years and years, since 2017. Beautiful exchange. So look at MATIC. We had it in this already, MATIC 3L. So you can see my beautiful work here, and it's already up, look, a 7.8%. And from what we're looking at, we could even see some more gains coming. You know, a full blown 28 and maybe even more 20% gains coming out of MATIC 3L. So we're looking at some possible move here for MATIC and MATIC 3L. 4 hour does have room to the upside. You know, anything is possible. 6 hours says let's go. 8 hours says let's go. Those time frames, there's some meat and potatoes to eat on, it says, and we're above some points of control. So I like what I'm seeing for these. You can see I already had some work done waiting on them. All right. And we will brief you quickly yet again with Team Bookmap. Shout out to Bookmap. The link in the description below. You can't get it anywhere else better. Global Plus. Jump on in to Bookmap. All right. Links are in the description showing you where the liquidity is for Bitcoin, so you know what's going down. All right. Building a little bit of a base here for some buys in 865 Bitcoin, 17,002. Still that 17,500 order lingers. And up here too. On multi-book. Hold on 1 second too. I'm going to flip that data. There we go. All right. Sorry about that. Got caught up in the Bookmap game. Something happened in my Bookmap settings. I got to work on them for a second and see what's going down. Funny, even Elon's starting to pump, Tony. That's when Doge gets busy, right? So if Elon's pumping, usually it means Doge is pumping hard right now. It tells me that Doge could be making a bit of a move. But look, that's a cup and handle. And I talk about this all the time. Sammy, cup and handy to the upside. And these are cup and handles. They pay. You know, I don't know why. I don't know how I figured this out, but I just started playing with them. Mentor taught me them. I started looking at it more than everyone else I knew. They became my beloved pattern just because I started seeing that they just paid so well. You know, they're the most explosive, fastest moving, and they just made the gain. So I made them my pattern. I mean, look at that, 20% in 4 hours. Can't beat that. And then the low stochastics, MACD turn, and everything I teach my students with the flag to the upside. I didn't harness this gain. I'm just showing you this is, you know, my system would have picked up on it had I taken a look at it, right, too. So just something to think about. But dang, Elon making moves, right? I was about to say, this thing was acting funky. Finance futures. I mean, it's okay. I'm getting Bookmap data, which is fine. But I usually subscribe to some amalgamated data, right? This is fine. Okay. So we're getting just a movement in the whole market. A nice pump, you know, even FTD. My goodness, right? And Morpheus Labs starting to get a little bit of a move to the upside. I'm looking at the bigger time frame on the 3-day chart as well. Super chat, SHIB, Flow, MATIC, MATIC 3L, even RLC. Nailed all those. Nailed it. Every single thing. Super chat, Soul, Near, 4-hour dash deep dive. How is that possible? $17 in chat revenue. How is there like 17 million? How did I already have, Can you check out Mask? I already went over Mask, yes, in the trading group. It's on my radar. Something that I'm really, really looking at. I have these two ideas here, right? But the 4-hour looks like it's going to break to the upside. 36% gains possibly coming out of Mask. And you got this like cup and handle feel going on too. So it's got this cuppy, handly, shabby cup and handy to the upside. Never seen a guy play with the cup and handle the way he does it. Do it. Does he do it? Does he? How he does he? How he does he do it? Look at that. $820 billion. Money just keeps flowing in to the market. Keep liquidating these shorts to the downside, right? Unbelievable. Look, now we can watch the liquidations appear. And watch the shorts get liquidated. There's 1,000. Gonna push the buy orders up into the 17,003, 17,400 area. I don't see any more liquidity anywhere else, That's Bookmap. That's why I like Bookmap. It can just kind of confirm some of your ideas here. You can kind of watch as it makes the order blocks. And then you watch total getting pumped. And you watch the money coming into the market. Doesn't mean we're going to hold it, but I mean, we're getting at least a big move. So if we come back down, and this is what we wanted. We wanted the 4-hour to give us at least a bit of a move here. This is a bit of a W too. Say it's not, and suggest that just a measured move of this W to the upside, we should get somewhere to this yellow line. And I've been talking about how the 4-hour should at least come to this 200 simple moving average. And then if it breaks through, then it's a huge move. If it kind of gets retraced and then it gets back above. But this is something I look at all the time. It is just likely to happen. We talked about Bitcoin doing it. Total market cap's following the same idea because every single instrument does these things. I can teach you this ethereal moves throughout time and space in trading. That'll change your life forever. I'm telling you right now. Jump on it today. You will never be the same. All right. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Near on the 4-hour Dash deep dive. Dash was an oldie but goodie coin. That had a privacy coin. It was similar. I believe it was very similar to Bitcoin in many ways. It had a low supply. I own like 10 or 20, 12 Dash or something sitting on a wallet. AVAX is pumping hard. It's good to see. I like to hear that. That's awesome. Super chat, Soul, Near 3L, Dash, deep dive. Soul, let's look at Near. We looked at Soul already. I don't really want to look at it again. I'm sorry for now, but just kind of leave it alone. So, yeah. But, everything's falling. Look at that shoulder, head and shoulder, break to the upside. And you can see everything's kind of following this idea. And you kind of have these forming now, right? And, I mean, there's still legs here for this to go up, and it would likely break it all the way up to the 200 simple. I've seen this many times. The old 200 simple move to the upside, and you only get it ever so once in a while. And so that's something I'm looking at for Near too. That's possibly about to happen. Near, I wouldn't be surprised if it did, right? I've seen it many, many times on all different instruments, but again, who knows? It's just simple probability. There's no guarantees. Bitcoin could dump in 2 seconds. Take it down, and it won't do exactly like it said it was going to do, or it was supposed, the probability said it would, right? So we're seeing moves all over the place. To go off wicker of the candle body, I always use candle bodies, but it's up to you, right? AVAX getting a little bit of a pump too, same thing, but look what AVAX did. AVAX did it. See, AVAX did the move to the 200 simple. It whipped right to it, got really close. But this is the move that I want everything to take, but this one's just a little bit earlier than most. But it did it, you see? And everything else is kind of still in this ascending trend. See, like Near is behind this down here. Not funny how some coins are just ahead of they have the same TA, but they're just a little ahead of the move. AVAX just happened to go. But look at the 4 hour, has way more move. Looks like the 4 hour is going to blast above this and really continue to pump. Looks like AVAX could have bottomed here and be getting a huge pump. I wouldn't be surprised if it pumped all the way up here to this $18 region, just because it's breaking through some high volume nodes and it's going to channel its way back up to the liquidity. Right? That's just something I've seen before. So AVAX could really continue. The 3L chart looks like it could gain even more. I mean, that would be 190% gains out of 3L. Again, I'd wait for a flag, but that 4 hour suggests there's a move. Wow, that's interesting. I can tell you the Lifer gives you literally Lifer vision. You start to see patterns forming before they even look like an actual pattern based on other factors. Shout out to Hana, man. He's spot on, though. He's telling it how it is, man. I turn people into savages in the chart. 38,000 subscribers and climbing. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't clicked the subscriber button, please click it and help the Lifer in the Lifer community. Let's get his NAND to 40K. Thank you for the love, man. 40,000 would be such an accomplishment. Can we get to 40K? Get the 40. Then it's like then it's that 50K grab, right? 50K, I want you 50K. And then it's 100K because then there's really nothing else, right? I guess the 75K stopover, but at the end of the day, it's about that 50K, baby. Can I get to 50K? All right, 40K. Thank you so much for the love. Shout out to the Blue Crew. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Amazing times to be alive. So yeah, I mean, so many coins, so little time, right? So much to talk about. 4 hour time frame looks pretty good for port. No, not port. For lithium, showing signs of a possible move here out of this flag, right? Stochastic still have some gas. Wow, KP3R always getting some love every once in a while. There it is. And so many coins are just, and look what it did. What did it do? It got tight and it went where? Up, and then it crossed the what? The 200 simple moving average. Now this one's ahead of all the other ones. So they're trying to teach you. See how some coins are teaching you, they are earlier than the other coins. This is an amazing night. These are anomalies that I'm showing you. And if we go back in time, like I'm going to show you, so when the moving averages get tight and the 200 is up there, price likes to jettison up to the 200. And it likes to touch it or go above it if you're bullish. And I've seen it so many times in my life. And there you have it. Go, wow, this thing is still moving as we speak with some serious movement. Once price gets above the 4 hour time frame, there's usually a big move coming after it. I've showed you that many times, and we went over it the other day. Okay? So just KP3R may have really some more flames in the fire, right? And it's only a matter of time until BNB jumps in the game and gets above its 200 simple and starts to play like this boom. So I'm waiting for that move, and I want to ride it to the upside. That's my BNB play, baby. It may take me 2 to 3 weeks. I'll reveal the game when the game is played. You know, watching Phantom 3L here on the 4 hour time frame looks like it's about to blast to the upside too as well. So I'm watching Phantom 3L, about to follow Bitcoin. Hasn't made the move yet that everything else has. Has been bullish too with the you know, the rebirth of Andre Conje, right? Can we look at CELR? I'm still holding CELR Network from a man Tori. You can see I have some work done waiting. And so CELR's just in this falling wedge, lowest it's ever been, right? Scary. It made a low, made another lower low, hanging on by the, you know, with some divergence. Oversold on that daily, says it could go lower, right? Because you just got this high time frame stochastic that wants to reset. You really need a double bottom here to end the bleeding here for CELR, in my humble opinion. So struggling a little bit, could go a little lower for some more accumulation possibly for CELR. All right, yeah. Bigger time frame, 3-day does want to make a move, but we've been struggling at the zone for whatever reason. That previous, support is a resistance area. We got to flip that back up. This would be a great place if it could really get back above 0.1698 for CELR. I love KuCoin shares, one of my favorite babies. And you're gonna I either like to play KuCoin shares or BNB, right? If I'd had in this wedge on the 3-day, could it make a move? It just looks a lot scarier, right? At $6.55. I first got in at $1, sold this thing at 17. Held it for years though. Like I held it for 4 years. Long trade. What a move though for KuCoin shares. Possible move there on the 3-day chart for KuCoin shares. Very interesting. KCS looks amazing, right? It kind of does. Can we look at CELR? I'm still holding 22 hour. Everyone loves that 22 hour too. I've been watching it, man. I got you. Got that bullish divergence there. Kind of that shoulder head, the drunken inverted. Think could rocket to the upside for sure, and could get back up to that, you know. And you want to look too. Look, it's got that same thing going, or it could jettison back up to the 200 symbol when the moving averages get tight. So it has this shoulder, this head. You know, it's kind of got this. I'm with you on it. A little risky for me. I think there's better out there, but you know, definitely digging for diamonds in there. KuCoin shares. All right, everyone. I'm out for the night. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you for jumping on in. We're going to take a look at the dollar index before we jump on out of here. One last thing. Continues to dump at 104.33. That's absolutely beautiful. Look at the dumpage to the downside. And look, we even had it in this wedge. 1 hour time frame. All I could do is say, could it continue to dump? Look at this wacky, but you know. And I even said here, could this break all the way down? And where would it break down here to this area? I don't know how I draw it like that, but it's so insane. But there it goes. Nasty drop. Just continues to fall and lose area after area. So here you have big resistance, big resistance, big resistance. And nobody wants to pick up the tab on the dollar here and get it out of, you know, it's looking like an FTX debacle. Suggested it will go lower to the downside. Really nothing else I can see. And the shoulder, head, and his shoulder. It's got head and shoulder vibes. It's not looking good to me. The dollar's struggling. Could even roll over here on the 4 hour. You got a bearish engulfing candle on the 4 hour there. Not looking too shabby. I mean looking too shabby, I should say. Wants to come back on the smaller time range, but it's very beat to the ground. And I've been showing you how the monthly really needs to come on down. And the monthly has, it's time. And two bearish engulfers. Now you have major issues. I haven't seen a candle this bad on the monthly on the dollar in a long time. Since this massive collapse at 119, all the way back down here to about 71, which is a massive collapse of the dollar. Okay, back in 2002, pre-Bitcoin era. All right, I'll show you. Bitcoin first came out, had its really major rally that people saw right here in 2017. You see that? That was Bitcoin's rally right there. Then Bitcoin came back with a vengeance in April of 2020, right? Bitcoin's rally again. And here we go again. And this dump should coincide with Bitcoin's next halving as the dollar continues to fall off. It seems like Bitcoin's halvings, seem to start around the same times the dollars start to dump to the downside. You know, they're within a year beforehand, right? This halving came 2016. Bitcoin's halving was right here. Actually, the dollar had some strength. So it has a halving, and then it appreciates and then dumps. Has the halving right there, 20. Oh, the halving hadn't come here, right? Oh, yeah, April, May, right here. The halving came right here, just like we said. And then as the halving, the dollar dumped. No, that one did play out as though that one was just a little latent. But same idea here, a little early, but then the halving, do we continue to dump to the downside? And, you know, I talk about that when we're upside down here and we jettison back up to the simple. Same idea here that we jettison down. It doesn't matter when you're up or down here. I hope I just blew your mind. I hope I did. If that you just picked up what I put down, you are becoming lifer with lifer vision. Everyone, thank you so much for being here. I love you all. Thank you for jumping on in. I appreciate you. Thank you, Jeanette. May God bless you with a $9.99. Jeanette, may God bless you with a $9.99. Yo, that's so much love. So cool. And look, the chat revenue, 33. You're like, no. I'm like, yep, 3307. 3307, 007, baby. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. May God bless each and every one of you for sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. You're with the Crypto Lifer. We went over every single thing that we can. We're ready for tomorrow. We got alts on the side. We got dips, whips, and flips. I see Mask on the 4 hour desperately wants to make a massive move to the upside. Mask looking very, very scrumptious on the 4 hour time frame. Mask makes me want to jump on in. It's like, salivating. Got some FOMO for Mask right now, for sure. And what's my last take here for bitty bitty Bitcoin? Well, 4-hour time frame could continue to the upside on the short squeeze. Small time frames will get us there. We could watch them closely. We got a bit of, some divergence here. Wouldn't be surprised if we came back down. But look here, like we could be making, somewhat of a rising wedge here that actually may continue, right? Could be one of these continuation wedges. So this is the pattern I would be watching closely here for Bitcoin to see if we can continue to the upside on the 7-minute. Which looks like we may, the way this is playing out, getting some pumpage. And that would also, combine with the fact that Bookmap is showing signs of life to the upside, right? So and there's still more liquidity further up than down at the time. We're building a little more of a base, but shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. May God bless you. Have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow for the live stream. We start a brand new week. Sorry about last week. We had lower view count. I hope we can get back to the Lifer vision, the Lifer family, 10 a.m. every single day Eastern Standard Time. I love you. Have a great night. Be safe. Peace. Crypto is life, baby.